I'm just gonna say it. A lot of men are very intimidated by successful women.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
From like family and stuff, it's like, nah, you are 30. Like, why are you not married?
Hi, I'm Tonya Mack, director, filmmaker, and storyteller. Amongst my peers, the narratives around dating have felt really toxic and negative of late. So I wanted to create a space to have fun, honest, and grounded conversations. It's time to change the story. This is Dating Black.
It's so love. 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 It's so love.
What's the wildest thing you've done in a relationship?
Volunteered to be robbed. That's what I'll call it. Never gave it back to this day. Wow. He knows who he is.
When someone done something mad to me when I was dating them, I didn't even like do anything. And I felt like I could have like smashed his car windows and that, but I just didn't do it.
She's sizing up the room like, how much of this can I say?
For me, it's like if I found something mad, I'm not speaking to you, I'm just exiting, but you're gonna hear the doors, you're gonna hear me get in my bag, you're gonna hear me, the door might break, things might just be falling apart, but you must know something's
hit you on the
up.
head with
I
a
might
bag.
just...
I was speaking to his brother too. Next question. Knowingly. Pardon? Like you knew that they had... yeah, of course, man. Did they sleep in the same household? Like they went home to the same household? No, not all the time. Okay.
But sometimes.
But sometimes, yeah. Yeah. You think they did the occasional family dinner?
Have you guys ever sent a read more message or a podcast voice note?
No. Yeah. I mean, okay, she sends 3-minute voice notes to tell me what she ate for breakfast. So if you're dating her, that does not surprise me at all. Me, I am the definition of like, if I find myself having to talk too much, you've done too much. And I'm very much okay, have a nice life, bye.
You don't intend it to be long, but it's just like, you think, okay, cool, I need to have this point said, I need to have that point said. Oh, I can't miss that. And I have to wish you well, but I have to tell you, don't call me again.
I hate having to now compose grammar and letters and all of that. No.
That day's mad. My mum will meet her husband on lunch, yeah? He does something wrong, she's like, I'm not trying to talk this out. Mum will say, irreconcilable differences.
Do you know what it is? I'm understanding, and depending on how much I like you.
Love you.
Error. Are you guys calling me a robot? Cool. Spoil my name. Throw mud on my name.
You know, he don't watch the plate. She's like, error code.
Do you guys see what I have to put up with?
Maybe when I was
I
like
know,
13.
you know me, I'm a straight caller. I'm calling you. If we're on the phone, I'm saying to you, no.
No, I love a phone call because I'm very argumentative.
Yeah, we love phone calls.
Royal Rumble, let's go.
We're like basketballs, come on.
Like arguments?
No.
I don't love arguments.
Are you like debating or going back and forth?
No. We just like
argumentative.
let's just deal with this right now. Let's go.
When I was younger, I used to send like paragraphs because I really wanted to be heard. So I would really like break it down, and I just thought that men were emotionally intelligent just like I was. So I would want to explain why I feel the way I feel, how they made me feel, and it would be really long. You know, like, I don't know if it still happens now, but you know, like when you send a text and like it goes beyond like 6 pages and it stops.
No.
I send several read mores. I think with me, I'm personally a person that if I'm having like a speaking argument or discussion, I might not necessarily be able to word my words how I'm not able to articulate myself always how I would like to. But when it comes to writing, I can write you an essay, a dissertation, a story. Do you know what I mean?
I've definitely sent them long messages.
Were they like successful in what you
Absolutely not.
Really?
No way. Like, and then you know when I don't really use iMessage that much anymore, but you know when you can see like the 3 dots and then it stops. Yeah. You think they're responding, but you don't get a response for like 2 days. Yeah. That's me.
I sent like thick paragraphs, but like not a read more.
You're
So
lying.
I've never sent a read more. Oh wait, have I sent a read more?
Yes, you have. Everyone has.
And I don't think I have, because I think that you can talk to someone face to face. Like, I can do that or talk on the phone.
If I talk to you face to face, I'm gonna cry.
But Sayo, though, you're an expert in this. Tell us.
Do you know what though? No, I'll do it to friends and that because I genuinely, like when I talk, I genuinely think I'm talking freely. Sometimes I just close my eyes and I'm sending voice notes, you know? And then the thing will go, you know when they think the shakes, it goes, and I'll say, release finger, and I'm like, oh, rah, it's actually capped at 8 minutes or something. But no, when it comes to relationships,
The fact that she knows where it caps
I don't know
is
what
mad.
that is. I've never...
Oh, you haven't reached those heights?
No.
Oh, he'll find it.
When I'm talking to a guy one-to-one, I forget all of my points. So that's what I love about the thingy, because I haven't lost my points. And then when you call me, I'm and ahhing, I'm stuttering, and I'm just looking like someone that doesn't know what they're talking about. So then he starts thinking I'm not serious, but I am seriously telling you we need to stop talking to each other.
Number one, though, in my defense, I feel like when words aren't difficult for you, you will just use them. Do you get what I'm saying? If you don't like using words, it's different. But for me, I'm quite quick with how I type and how quick with how I speak, so it doesn't really affect me. But also, you want to make sure that if this ends, that I said everything. I'm not like the person who can see like, oh, I should have said this, or does he know this? So that's why I kind of like try and write, but then also the anxiety comes because you're like, that person could actually not reply to you still after all that, so it's tight.
But I
I'm
just don't like
upset.
the way
Needs
that
to be-
some men cannot digest a long message. Like, they can't digest it because they think it's long. Like, being someone who is like, when I see a long message, I actually have to like brace myself. Doesn't even have to be about love, it can be about work. And I see a long email, I have to proper get in the mood to read the whole thing. So I think understanding that about myself, I think if I send someone a long message, it will take them a lot to take it in. So I'd rather just speak to you on the phone so we can go back and forth. I don't want it to just be me saying something. I want to hear what you have to say as well.
Ultimately, yeah, because this girl has been trying to shame and her energy is feeling a bit somehow, do you know what I'm saying?
She wants to turn us into boxing.
No.
Cool.
Do you know what it is? I'm confident in my text messages and my voice notes. I will not be shamed into the Twitter rules, all right? You guys will say, oh, if you love him, just write ILU or something and he'll feel this. No, I'll write it. Enjoy me,
sonnet,
enjoy me.
Poetry in fullness. No, I love that. On the flip side, it's like, it's not that I'm not open to communicating. I do love communication. I do love clear communication. I love definitely, are you shaking your head as I am?
Someone said this to me and they were like, yeah, you don't argue to resolve. You argue and then you just want to be mad.
Really?
I literally just want to be left alone. I'm not trying to resolve. I just want to, get the words out.
I wouldn't expect you to be like that. I feel like that's...
No, but if I'm already irritated, just leave me.
I like communication, and if it is required of us trying to fix something, I'm always going to do that. But more times,
You can't just even talk. Imagine her text message. She's already saying if it's required. I'm like, talk about text, SMS, man. Man said, if it's required. What emojis do you even use, bro?
Took me into HR. Cool.
So I guess you don't believe in burning bridges then?
Not really.
Yeah, burn that bridge, torch.
Yeah, I feel like it depends on where you left the relationship. I don't feel like I've had really bad experiences where it's been like that bad. Maybe you have.
Not in ours, but I mean, this isn't talking from like a personal standpoint.
Yeah. But there's definitely like relationships out there where it's been so bad that
like,
it does need to be a
horrible.
burned bridge.
Yeah. And I think keeping that
distance
analogy of the bridge, keeping that like link with that person doesn't serve you.
No, not at all. Because you always kind of feel attached to it and you don't need that kind of attachment.
In my past relationships, nothing absolutely terrible has happened where I feel like I've had to cut them off for life, which is a blessing because I know that certain people have been in situations like that. But when I look back at some of the situations, 18, they're young, we're babies. Like, it wasn't like, not saying it wasn't that deep, but at the same time, like, it wasn't that deep. I can forgive, I can move on.
Somebody asked this question on Instagram, what's harder, breaking up with someone who is painful to be with or staying with someone who's painful to be with but you love them or something like that. I can't remember the wording, but I was like, oh wow, definitely for me. I mean, I think regardless.
Staying does you a disservice in the long run.
Yeah, in the long run, definitely.
The friendship I have with them is just so worth it. Like, the way they help me now, they're making up for all the things they did now. Like, on my birthday, I get taken out every year by a guy I was seeing for time who did not do anything for my birthday when we were together. But now, every year, he's doing things for me. But because of the friendship we have, so they grow, they mature, they learn, and I'm so glad I have them in my life.
But I think when you try and cut someone off, like, it's never going to work.
Then you're going to go back.
Yeah, you'll keep going back.
Just
phase it out, you know, be honest.
You're quite good at that.
Yeah, like, Communication. I
Yeah.
don't like that you did this, and because of that reason, I don't want to have as much communication with you.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, the other person's not going to have it. They're still going to want to, but it's up to you to make that decision for yourself and be like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Being friends with your exes is sometimes easier when the situation is done, been over, because like even little things that you would second guess, like, oh, can I call him? Da da da. Now I call off their line like it's no tomorrow. Like I don't feel away.
What is it like dating as a successful black woman? Success!
How long do you have?
I mean, I don't...
It's like climbing Mount Everest with just your hands.
I'd use the term successful lightly even, because to me, I'm not even where I want to be yet. Do you know what I mean? Or I haven't even really tasted the success that I really want to. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, I've still reached a level of success that can come across as, whether it be intimidating, whether it be, I don't know what it is, but where guys are just like, rah, like, okay, that's what you're on.
I'm just gonna say it. A lot of men are very intimidated by like successful women.
Yeah.
That's a problem. And because of our hypervisibility, people almost create an identity for you before you've even met them. So they're meeting you, but they already have like
an idea.
It's not up to me to be that version of me in your head. So when people see you online, they might watch your videos, they might see you on Instagram, they might see you interacting with people that they know, mutuals. They're already thinking, oh, you know, she's gonna be this way. So when I act that way, you're like, whoa.
What's this?
Yeah.
When you want to be successful and you envision a life for yourself when you're like older, you want to have a partner who's just like that as well. And I think a lot of men right now who are successful or who are going towards success, they are very focused and very like, you know, right now is not the time that I want to commit. And I think that's part of the interesting dating black experience in the UK. I think a lot of successful men are not ready to settle down right now.
Once a guy gets to know me, I feel like that's when he starts to back off. So they'll have the most energy, but then I start to really tell them like what I'm doing, what I'm on, and they're like, okay. And then there becomes this like withdrawal.
Oh my God, I actually have a story of like a friend of mine who's really, really successful. She was dating this guy for a long time and she thought, you know, things were going really well until he turned around to her and told her like, your job is a bit too much. Like, I'm gonna need you to step back from your role if you want this to work. Yeah, real like live. She left that man and started reading a great book.
Thank you.
And now he did. And I think the maddest thing is like some men aren't as direct as this man, and I appreciate that. Like, thank you for being so direct so I can actually make that decision. Some men are so good mentally that they'll know how to like throw little you know jabs at you to make you feel less and make you want to do less consciously. That's a madness. Pray to God, everybody.
Manipulation.
So basically the story is like, we've seen each other and stuff, and obviously it didn't work out, but I think a key reason as to why I didn't kind of go back is because like I'd say to him, I want to make a certain amount of money, and he'd question it.
What do you mean question it?
As in he'd be like, do you even know what you're talking about? Like something, like he was just, and then like, I was just like, okay.
Are you rude?
I was like, okay, kind of thing.
What does that mean?
And I think to him till now, because we've had conversations about it, and he's just said, I remember when I said that to you and you kept going on about it and you kept da-da-da. And I was like, because it's such a big deal in my life, because you don't know, like in the next 10 years, you don't know where I'm going to be. If I'm very successful, you're going to continuously question everything I do, like, and question the success I want. Like,
you need someone that's like, sees what you're doing.
Yeah, and
they're
loves
like,
what you're doing.
love that for you.
Sees even further than what you're
like,
seeing
oh,
of
where are you trying to
yourself.
take it to? Not like,
That's
oh,
where it's at.
do you know, it's the little things like, oh, how's that little show that you're doing? How's your little show?
How's your little clothing line?
How's your little clothing line? How's that Instagram thing going? You're minimizing
Or
it.
they'll say you don't have a job.
Can I leave?
I kind of went out on a date with a guy not too long ago, and I said something, Gemma K, and he said, who's Gemma K? And I was like, oh, you really don't care about me. You don't care about what I do. No, it's cool. I'm proud of my work. I want him to be proud of the things I do. You don't have to be like a super like fan, like you're like you come to me like, oh my God, Emma. But you don't have to be like that. But, you know, support me, innit?
They don't want their woman to earn more than them. That's going to be that's a problem for a lot of men.
Why wouldn't you want to date a powerful black woman? Like, that's bizarre that you wouldn't want to, what? Like, That's mad to me.
Culturally, men are supposed to be the providers. They're supposed to be, you know, it's deeper in African culture than it is in Western culture when it comes to providing. Men are the head of the house, like proper head. And I think it's fine for men being head of the house. I don't even contest that at all. But I think in African culture, it's like men are the head of the house. They make all the decisions. They make the most money. They decide where the money's going. They do this, they do that. They don't have to tell their woman this.
About deciding where the money's going.
And I just think that in this day and age when women are making money, potentially the same amount as you, like they should be making decisions as well. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like there's like more pressure to like settle down as you get older?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. And not even just a relationship. I think there's just there's pressure to be married. Do you know what I mean? Like,
You're gonna say it.
I'm going through a phase right now where all my friends are getting married. Like, all of them are having babies, and I'm just thinking that everyone is literally saying to me, when are you next? Like, when are you next? And I'm thinking, really?
I don't feel the pressure to be in a relationship or to be married and stuff. I've just never felt that pressure. And I think if I had felt that pressure from a young age, I probably would be in one right now. But I think for me, it's about timing, and it's God's timing. When he wants to send me my king, then he'll send me my king.
once you hit 30, the pressure doesn't even come from yourself, really, because I think leading up to 30, there's a lot of pressure on yourself. You're like, how am I 30 and not married? How am I 30 and I don't even like anyone? And you feel all of these things. And then once, for you personally, you get to 30, you kind of just feel, I mean, for me personally, I just felt like I didn't really care anymore. I was like, well, I'm 30 now, here it is. I don't like anyone, so I just have to keep it moving kind of thing. But I think from like family and stuff, it's like, nah, you are 30. Like, why are you not married? Why do you not have kids? Like, and it's like, they start to, it's weird because they go from feeling like pressurizing you to then feeling sorry for you.
I never realised how real that pressure is for some people in terms of like getting into a relationship. Like, it's actually really, really peak for some people. Like, some people's parents are applying pressure, like, you have to get out of the house and marry ASAP. Like, I don't even care if this guy ain't even all that. Just find someone, anyone, and give me my grandchildren.
It's like some women actually just don't want kids. Some women don't even want to get married. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just want to make dough and get D. That's it. Like, that is true. Like, I've actually spoke to quite a few like older women who have said like, I'm actually very happy like just having an incredible sex life and making a lot of money for myself and then just being me. Like, and then I've also spoke to women that are like, nah, like, family is everything and I really want to have a husband. And do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's okay. Like, both things are okay for both women. Do you know what I mean?
Do you guys think sex is important when dating?
I know what Dot's answer is going to be, so you go first.
You know. Well, in dating, because of my faith, I would say no. But it is important to talk about. Like, you have to manage your expectations if you are walking towards marriage. So, like, many people actually get into marriage and find, for example, their partner might not like a certain thing, or you might not like a certain thing, but you never spoke about it before and it becomes a problem. I've heard that so many times. So, it is important, but I just don't think you need to do it. I don't think you need to test drive. For some people, it's like, I can't get past this part of my attraction to you without sex. And for some other people, it's like, all the other things about you lead me to wanting to have sex with you, and that's further down the line. I just think it varies depending on who you are as an individual.
I think it is. I think, you have to be able to assess your sexual chemistry with someone. If you choose to have sex or if you don't choose to have sex, there still needs to be some sort of sexual chemistry because, I think it's important, man.
If you do engage in premarital sex, isn't it? Because it's not important. For those of you who have then stay on your path, innit? Because it's not important.
I was with a guy one time and he decided to go celibate, and we still continued to date, and I think I was dating for maybe 3 years, and that was basically a relationship to me. But that was something that he wanted to do, and it was very important to him. So, but we had very open conversations about it. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like because we are socialised to place a heavy
Onus
on it, it becomes important because it's one of the few things that we kind of use to determine whether we like the person. But if there wasn't such a heavy onus on that, I could imagine other types of like factors or signals would be more important than that. But I actually don't think it's that important, but I think what it is important that people are trying to talk about is like the attraction and the lust.
I personally am celibate. Not everyone views sex the same. So I understand why people don't think, it's that deep. But for me, I personally place a lot of value in terms of like becoming one with somebody. So I don't really want to be doing that with someone unless it's my husband.
If you're going from the idea of like how many girls you can beat for fun to then this is your wife, the concept now becomes, how do I know? How am I gonna come off the streets and have this girl for the rest of my life when I've tried other things? So there's so many different things there that are like, actually, it's important to either dispel a myth or to, you know what I mean? So
the idea that you have to test drive before you buy the car and that stuff, I don't think that's necessarily important. I do think that you do need to know if you are sexually compatible. Yeah. Like, I don't know what ways, like I'm not gonna say like what ways you need to do that, but I do think it's important. Like I don't think anyone should go into it completely blind, because I do think people play down how important it is, especially like, you know, if you're a Christian, for example, like there's just so much emphasis on so many other things in the relationship, which I do think are really important, but I think it does get played down how important sex is in marriage.
I always say to guys, if I'm like, if we start talking, and if I kind of feel like that's all he wants to talk about, or he always alludes to some sort of sexual joke and stuff, I'm like, are you just trying to mash? Like, I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if that's what you're trying to do, let me know. Like, do you know what I mean? When we can get to those like clear conversations, then I, as a woman, as a female, whatever, I can just be like, yeah, I'm not on that. You can keep it moving, or I can be like, all right, then let's do that.
I cheated on day one.
Wow.
Damn. Just volunteered it.
I might have sent 3 10-minute voice notes. Yeah.
3?
Do you want to listen to them? No, I'm not going to play them.
It's so love. It's so love. It's so love. It's so love. It's so love.